How many languages do you speak?
3.
Which ones?
I speak Portuguese, English, and I speak a bit of French.
Nice. And where are you from?
Portugal.
Okay, and how many languages do you speak?
I speak two, but I can speak a little of Spanish, but normally I speak Portuguese or English.
Portuguese, English, and a little bit of Spanish. I think like all Portuguese people can speak a little bit of Spanish, right?
Yes.
But how many like you understand of Spanish, for example? If you cannot speak, but you understand a lot, or
I
just
understand
some
like
words?
when they're talking to me, but when it's faster, I can understand.
I speak 5.
Nice. Which ones?
I speak Polish, English, German, Swedish, and Portuguese.
Okay, where are you from?
Originally from Poland.
How do you speak Swedish? Swedish.
Swedish. Well,
So-
I used to live in Sweden for like 7 years.
Okay, that's so cool. Polish as a native, English, Swedish, English and
German
German.
and Portuguese. Right.
Yeah, and Portuguese. But how do you learn all that languages?
Well, I lived in all those places. I lived in Germany as a kid. I lived in Sweden as an adult. I lived in the US, and I just moved to Portugal from Brazil.
I actually speak two.
Two? Which
Two.
ones?
Portuguese and English.
So where are you from?
I'm from Portugal. My father is from Africa, from Angola, and my mother is Portuguese.
Okay.
I don't actually speak. They speak Portuguese in Angola, so yeah.
So that's why, like, if your father like would be like from other country, which is like not Portuguese speaking, you would speak like more languages,
Yeah,
right?
yes. I can know with the dialect of I speak in Angola, like.
Well, fluently too, Portuguese and English, but I can kind of speak Spanish and kind of French, but actually I'm not studying now, so I forgot a little bit. But yeah, fluently only two.
And where are you from?
Brazil, Rio.
Brazil. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And where did you learn French?
I was studying French in college,
Okay.
but then I stopped. But I'm planning to learn again. Yeah, study again.
And Spanish you understand because you speak Portuguese.
Sí, es muy parecidos. But I always say like my Portuguese is fluent and my Spanish is enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can understand Spanish, right?
Yeah, of course, like almost 100%.
I speak 2 languages very good, like Portuguese and English. And, I speak a little bit of Korean and Spanish and a little bit of French, but very rudimentary.
Korean and French.
Spanish, more Spanish
Spain.
than French, yes.
So where are you from?
Here, Portugal.
Okay, so
Lisbon.
that's why you understand Spanish, right?
Yes, yes, of course. I never took Spanish classes, but I already have gone to Spain
Spain.
a lot
Yeah.
of times. So yeah.
Okay, and where did you learn Korean?
Yeah, on the internet.
So you took some courses, or?
Yeah, I went to some free workshops, and yes, I learned a little bit of Korean. I'm still in the learning process.
Okay, do you like
I
it?
can yes, I can introduce myself in Korean, but yeah, I can't keep a conversation yet. But
Okay. only some phrases, right? The
Yes,
basic one.
yes.
Probably the same as my Portuguese. Like, pouco falo português. né?
Portuguese is a difficult language for foreign people.
Do you think Korean is difficult or not?
I learning the alphabet, the Hangul. It's very easy. The letters are very easy to learn. I think the sentences and specifically because it's a completely different alphabet, is a little bit difficult to learn the words and some phrases.
What about pronunciation? Do you find it difficult for Portuguese people or not?
Pronunciation of Korean.
Yeah.
Sometimes because they use like some similar words with slight difference in the pronunciations mean very different things, and yeah, I think sometimes it's difficult.
Well, besides my Portuguese native language, I speak English as good as I can, French, and a bit of German.
That's quite a lot of languages.
Yeah, I lived in German sometime.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, how is it like the German also like kind of the same as English or better?
No, worse.
Worse.
German, as a foreigner, you never can be better than this. I know. Yeah. It's very, very difficult languages
Nice.
with declinations and so on.
And for how long you live in Portuguese-speaking countries like Brazil and Portugal?
It's been 4 years.
Okay.
But like living in Brazil, it's like you're being immersed in the Portuguese language. It's not like here that like everybody speaks English. In Brazil, it's Portuguese
Only.
only.
Okay. And did you take some courses, or how do you learn languages?
I did. I took some time off work to learn Portuguese. So I did like intensive classes for 2 months, 20 hours per week.
Oh, that's really intense.
But it gave the right effect, right? And now I can speak Portuguese.
Do you think it is important to learn the language of that country where you're going to travel?
It depends on the country, because some countries do speak English, others don't. And if the countries speak English, I think we can travel good and be safe with speaking English. If they don't, it's more difficult, I think.
Yeah, but what about like other countries where English is not the native language, but you are going there as a tourist? So, like, do you think it's better? Is English is enough, like, to be a tourist, or is better to know the local language?
No, I think usually it's enough. People know that it's more of a universal language, right? Not everybody, but most of the people know how to speak a little bit of English, and we can be safe. Like, ask where to stay, what to eat. Yes.
I think it's always good if you know a few words like good morning, thank you. You know, you don't have to be fluent, but just to show that you care about that place, care enough to at least Google how to say good morning.
Do you think it's like you can be treated better from the locals if you try to speak their
I
language?
think so. Even if they're not expecting you to speak the language, but they're gonna see that you made an effort, you know?
Yes, it
Why?
is. For example, I went to Albania this year, and in the capital, people talked English, but in the countryside, like, it was very hard to communicate. I could not understand anything, but they were very kind actually. But
Okay, so but if you speak Albanian, so you
yeah,
can
if I
communicate
knew
with
how
more
to speak
people.
Albanian, like, it would give like much more easier way around.
I think it is for fun, but like in communication terms, I think I can speak well in English with other people and they understand.
Hmm.
I agree too. But I would like to go in a country and know how to speak to them, like in their language.
Why do you think it's better to communicate with the local people on their local language, or like English instead of English?
I think it's better to communicate with their original language because they can understand better and we can talk like a lot.
I don't think it's that important to know the language of the country where you're going to travel. Sorry, just looking at my dogs. But it's good to know some basics. I would, however, think that it's good to know the language of the country where you live. I think you become an outsider if you don't speak the language of where you reside.
So do you think you can be treated better if you speak the local language?
For sure. For sure. There's no doubt about that.
If you have a chance to know one more language, what language would it be?
Actually, right now I'm trying to learn Japanese. I'm going there next year for the big expo, and I want to learn how at least to communicate the basics.
Italian.
Why?
Because I like the language is romantic.
Romantic.
Yes.
Usually people say about French it's romantic. Is it Italian?
I don't think French is that romantic. It is, but I think Italian is more.
Okay, nice. And what about you?
I don't know. I don't know. I think French is a good option, but I have like Russian or Bulgarian too. Because I think they're so difficult to speak, and I really like to learn it.
Good question, because I always say that Italian is my favorite language, but I might study German. Yeah, and then Italian.
Okay.
Yeah, I know a few words in German too, but only a few.
But why German?
No, I see that it's being like required in some jobs, and I don't know, people get more money, and I don't know, so
If they speak German.
Ich spreche Deutsch.
Okay.
Actually, that's a lie, but I just started to speak German, but I don't. Yeah, I only know a few words. And yeah, I think I would learn German.
Probably Chinese.
很好，
I don't. I know how to say ni hao.
你好
Yeah, it's hello, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's one of the most spoken languages in the world, right?
Yeah, if we like talking about like the amount of people
Sim,
like,
yes.
speaking.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like it's useful.
I think Chinese,
Why?
because so many people. Oh, my dogs are here. Because that would expand my possibility to communicate with so many people.
Oh, well. I think I would like to speak better the languages I already do. But I have interest, for example, in Chinese. Yeah, but it's too complicated. And I'm too old for this already.
Why Chinese?
Well, it's a country where you have 1,300 million people, so I think it's worth to be able to speak with them. I was in China some years ago and I found it very interesting.
So you picked there like some words, ni hao ma.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I bought a small book and in a plane I was reading this, trying to learn at least good day, good night, hello, and the mimics worked very well.
Good, good.